All right, we're back. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. Hope everyone's having a great Thanksgiving weekend. This is the second of our 3 live streams this weekend. We had Dr. Morris Woodley the other day, and tomorrow we're going to do a special tribute to the great late Buddy Clayton. And today we have a very special guest. Oh, by the way, before I forget, remember to like us and to subscribe. And we also now have a Beyond Vaudeville shop on Etsy where you can get stuff like this t-shirt, which features the sign from our opening credits and many other things. So anyway, we do have a very special guest today, and she was with us once before on one of these rewinds, but today we're going to be talking specifically about Thanksgiving and why it's so important to her. I want to thank everybody who has already joined us in chat. If you have questions, please feel free to put them in there and we'll get to as many as we can. So it was on Thanksgiving Day, November 25th, 1965, that a 13-year-old Suzanne Muldowney witnessed for the first time on her television the Underdog balloon in the Macy's parade, starting her on a mission that would eventually change the course of history for dance, costume design, showcase posing, spotlight spacewalking, and figure jogging, among other things. Let's not forget cake decorating. Please, without further ado, welcome back one of our favorite people who goes all the way back to our first show in 1986, the wonderful Ms. Suzanne Muldowney. Hello, Suzanne.
Hello, Rich.
How are you?
It's nice to be live with you again.
Yes, well, it's great to have you here, and I want to thank, by the way, before we go any further, I want to thank Boris, who is Suzanne's documentarian. He did a wonderful documentary. I'm actually in it. That's why it's wonderful, right? Called My Life as an Underdog, and you can find that on YouTube. And he also does the Questionable Personalities podcast, where he has done numerous interviews with Suzanne, giving so much background and interesting information about Suzanne. So, and actually, you just came back. You and Boris went out for ice cream?
We went out for frozen custard. That's much softer in consistency than regular ice cream. It goes back to when I was a little girl and there was a frozen custard truck that would wander around the neighborhood. Are you familiar with the name Mr. Softy?
Oh, yes. Yes. Now, did your Mr. Softy truck play a melody to attract children, or did it just have a ding bell?
It played a melody.
It did. Okay. And was it the Mr. Softy theme?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. And you preferred that over Good Humor or any of the other trucks that would come through the neighborhood?
I preferred the consistency of the frozen custard.
It's more it has more air in it. You like that soft.
Yes.
Yeah. And any particular, what flavor did you just have today?
Vanilla.
Oh, okay. Is vanilla your favorite ice cream flavor?
It's my second favorite. Usually, when I order frozen custard, I have chocolate topped with vanilla, but I got just vanilla today because I'm wearing a white blouse and I didn't want any possible drippings to stain it.
Oh, that was good thinking. Yes. Okay. So we're here the day after Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving dinner? Did it go well?
It went well, but I didn't eat everything I had planned. I don't bother with turkey. I fashion my dinner after an ancient Roman feast.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And do you do that for all holidays or just for Thanksgiving?
There are a couple of other dates for which I do it, but Thanksgiving is the most obvious one.
Okay. Now I'm not too up on my Roman history, but didn't they have a vomitorium where after they would eat, they would vomit their food or?
Yes, I never do that.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. So and what does that entail? I know you've talked before about popcorn appetizers.
Well, that's if you're having a traditional Thanksgiving dinner with turkey as the main course. The Native Americans taught the Pilgrims how to make popcorn. That's why it's extremely appropriate as a Thanksgiving dinner appetizer if you're having the customized Thanksgiving dinner.
Got it. Now, why would you do a Roman type banquet? Because this holiday really is to celebrate the origins of America as we know it. How does the Roman banquet work into that?
Um, because it had a number of courses. Um, the food that goes into it is available in smaller portions in the average supermarket.
Got it. Okay. And now I know this is a very busy season for you, where you do a lot of parades, wearing your costumes. Have you been doing any Thanksgiving, Christmas parades this season?
Um, I used to be in a Thanksgiving parade that was in New Rochelle, New York. Now, the date pattern was always the Saturday before Thanksgiving, but then several years ago, they changed the pattern to Thanksgiving Eve, which meant I couldn't be in it anymore because the traffic would have been absolutely atrocious.
Hmm. Did you speak with them about not making that adjustment, or?
No, it came as a complete surprise to me when my entry blank arrived one year and I saw that they had changed not only the date pattern but also the route. Instead of going well from west to east, now we were going from east to west.
Wow. Now, did you take this as a slight or a personal affront that they did this, or?
No, no, I don't.
Okay,
But it was,
good.
but it was kind of. I think it was bad judgment on their part to switch the date to Thanksgiving Eve.
Right. Well, maybe they'll come to their senses, and if anyone watching this agrees that that was a poor move, please let your thoughts be known to the organizers of that
Well,
event.
as far as parades I'm doing this year, my Christmas parade tour begins tomorrow in Wilmington, Delaware.
Ah, okay. And now this is prior to the big anniversary of Underdog is coming up in the next year, right? And
It
that
starts, it starts on New Year's Day, 2024.
okay, and you will actually be performing on New Year's Day.
I wanted to, but there's not a chance of that now because my objective was to make the special Underdog 60th anniversary costume and have it ready in time for New Year's Day 24, but there's no chance of that now.
Oh, so when do you expect to have this completed? Your special anniversary costume.
Well, I'm hoping for mid-March because Wilmington, Delaware also has a St. Patrick's parade, but I have to ask the committee when they send me my entry form. I have to ask them for permission to do Underdog instead of my usual Irish Cinderella.
Ah, okay. Okay. And so, Suzanne, we're hearing from some of your fans. Mixed Nuts is saying hello from Seattle. What a treat. Suzanne, I love all your performances. I'm a big fan. Hugs and prayers to you and Midnight. Um,
That's the that's one of my stuffed cats. I was able to figure out a routine for her to do by um, moving one finger back and forth across under the underside of one of her paws. I was able for her to wave kind of naturally.
okay. And when you say a stuffed cat, is this a taxidermied cat or?
No, it's a stuffed toy.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it. And Bruno Bigsley says, Suzanne, what you do means more than you think. God bless you. Keep it up. Risky BBQ says, Baltimore loves you, Suzanne. Checker
I
Phil is.
Baltimore is one of the sites that I always go to for one of the Christmas parades.
Oh, so you have a good fan base in Baltimore.
Yes.
Okay. And Risky BBQ is asking Wawa or Sheets? Wawa, that's like a 7-Eleven type store, right, in your neighborhood? Or
Yes. Yes, it is.
and what is Sheets? That's another competitor, or?
I never heard of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk about, did you get to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade yesterday, Suzanne?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because I understand. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to.
Oh, and why is that?
Um, well, there's really no point in my watching it because with the kinds of entries they have, I see the same kinds of entries in every parade that I'm in. One thing that's important is someone asked me, aren't you the least bit curious about the parade's entries? And well, the answer is I always see all the entries in the lineup area.
Oh, okay. And but now they are still doing the balloons in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. There was yesterday there was a Kung
But the
Fu Pandas.
Underdog one hasn't been used since 1984.
Right, it was retired and then eventually destroyed. Right, the original Underdog balloon.
Well, I don't. Well, obviously, it wasn't. They deflated it and then probably folded the pieces up into some form and then got rid of it somehow.
Yeah, I read that there was a patch of it in the offices of the Macy's parade.
I never heard that.
Yeah, I read that somewhere online. It might just be a rumor. I'm not sure. But did they ask you if you wanted a piece of it before they destroyed it?
No.
Okay.
I tried to get Macy's to put me in the parade as an underdog a number of years ago, but yeah, the outfit that had the copyright at the time I'm thinking of was Golden Books. They told me to send some information on myself, and I did. I include a couple of tapes and papers, the cream of the crop. But once they received it, I never heard from them again.
Huh. No response at all.
Oh.
No. Okay. Well, it's interesting because you have dedicated, so much of your life and your creative energies on trying to preserve Underdog and popularize Underdog. But do you feel that there's just not an appreciation for that by the powers that be?
I really don't think as many people are aware of him today. Now, present day parents and grandparents are bound to remember the character, but I don't think many present day children are aware of him.
Do you think maybe it could be mandatory in schools that they learn about Underdog?
Oh, no, not in schools, just whenever parents expose children to different TV programs or archives of famous artworks. In this case, there used to be a book in 1982 called "What's on Saturday Morning TV." It was a historic chronicle of children's programs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Underdog was included in that, or?
Well, there wasn't a big publicity spread about it, just about the program.
Got it. Okay. Ramon Pena is saying so many new cartoon characters at the parade that just don't inspire. I know yesterday one of the balloons was the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Do you
I
approve of that, or
didn't see the balloon.
do you approve of the Pillsbury Doughboy being in the parade?
Yeah, I think so. He hasn't been featured as extensively right now as he was in the old days. So this was kind of a nostalgic revival.
Hmm. So you have a soft spot for the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Um, well, I thought he was cute, but I didn't. I wasn't really devoted to him.
Got it. Okay. Anna Pants in the chat says, "I am 29 and I had never heard of Underdog until I saw your dances. You are doing good work spreading the word about Underdog." Does that make you feel good and feel like you're accomplishing what you set out to do?
Yes. So, what did you say her first name was?
Her name in chat is Anna Pants 18.
18. But you said she was 29.
Well, chances are there were 17 other Anna Pants, so she just ended up taking the number 18. Or maybe she's had this chat name since she was age 18. She's now 29, yes.
All right. Well, Anna. Since Underdog originated in 1964, that's why we're talking about this upcoming year being his 60th anniversary, the symbol of which is diamonds.
Correct. And your special outfit, maybe you can explain what your new anniversary costume is going to be, what it entails.
Well, there's the usual red tunic and pants worn underneath, but the emphasis is on a lot of diamonds, sew on rhinestones. Here, look.
Oh, this is a little sneak peek.
Yeah.
Wow. How many hours would you say you've spent so far on this costume?
Well, I can't say exactly how many hours because I started working on it New Year's Day of 23, and then I kept working on it and working on it. But every day that I went to work, I lost 6 to 8 hours.
Ah, okay. Okay. And what type of work do you do, Suzanne? If you don't mind my asking, do you mind sharing that or no?
Well, right now, here's
Wow. Yeah,
the,
there's the U. Great.
you saw the sew on diamonds, didn't you?
Yes, it's beautiful. So far, so good.
Pearls and lace.
And Toto Payne Diaz is saying a highly skilled seamstress. Amy Frushauer Kelly is saying very impressive needlework, Suzanne. And we did hear back from Anna Pants. She said, "My birthday is April 18th, and my first name is Anna. Anna Pants was an old nickname of mine."
Well, Anna, have I enlightened you enough? Have I given you enough of a preview to see what you'll expect in this coming year?
Okay, so we'll see if Anna responds to that, and we'll see if she types something in on that. Oh wow, this is part of the cape, or
this is part of the cape. This is the inside of it.
Wow. So
see,
all of that iridescence. Where did you get all of that?
Shine like diamonds as much as possible. I got this iridescent silver fabric, and then I put pearls and lace, and of course an abundance of sew-on diamonds.
Got it. And do you think when you're performing, will you use "Shine Like a Diamond" as your musical accompaniment?
Excuse me?
Oh, have you given any thought to what music might accompany your performances in the anniversary year next year?
Oh, I'd use the same musics I always have.
Oh, okay. Just traditional classical music?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to call up Suzanne some pictures that we have. Hopefully, you can see these okay.
Yeah.
So this was from the 1965 parade. There actually was a record that came out. Do you have a copy of this? Are you aware of this?
Oh.
No. Okay. But so when the balloon made its debut, there was actually immediately following the parade, there was a debut episode of Underdog all about Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes, but I didn't see it. It was advertised so that people nationwide heard that that special Underdog episode would follow the parade. But then it didn't show in my area, and goodness knows how many other parts of the country didn't see it because it was advertised nationally, but apparently shown only in the New York area. And I was heartbroken.
Oh, wow. But you did eventually get to see it, that episode.
In the course of regular program rerun episodes, yes.
Okay. And was this the episode where the evil Simon Bar Sinister travels back to Thanksgiving and tries to alter history?
Yes. Yes, this is the one instance in an Underdog story about time travel.
Got it. Okay. And do you approve of that? Was that okay that they sort of bent the time continuum? And
I don't like how Simon Bar Sinister tried to persuade the Native Americans to attack the Pilgrims.
Got it. Okay. Was he successful in doing that, in persuading them?
Yes, one of the last episode opens with the Native Americans charging in on the Pilgrims, and I think, yeah, Underdog started a fire to divert them or to distract them, and the one tableau used in the advertising showed a Native American on the left, a Pilgrim on the right, an Underdog in the middle.
Huh. Did Underdog have arsonist tendencies, or was that a unique situation?
No, he didn't have arsonist tendencies. He had these. Can you get back to me again?
Yes. Let me. Yeah. Let me do that. Okay.
He had laser beams in his eyes. Superman also did, and he focused his eyes on a forester, on the fort, or something to make it burst into flame.
Oh, wow. Okay. And it seems like, now we have so many wildfires. It seems like that could have been a potentially dangerous situation. Sometimes if the fire gets out of control but did he eventually put the fire out?
The Native Americans and the Pilgrims combined forces to put the fire out together.
Oh, good. Okay. So it all worked out in the end.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to bring that back up so we can see, because I have another. So this was when the balloon, the Underdog balloon, was actually about to make its debut, and I guess they were testing it out here. And it says, Underdog newcomer among the 7 mammoth helium-filled balloons in Macy's 39th annual Thanksgiving Day Parade is made ready at Akron, Ohio for gay procession coming up Thursday. It's 63 feet long, and he will swing and sway down Broadway as Lorne Greene and Betty White comment on the holiday spectacle.
Yes, because Lorne Greene was one of the MCs on that Thanksgiving Day, he spoke about Underdog in a kind of reverential tone of voice.
So that must have really been, you must have been very happy with that someone actually did speak in a reverential way toward Underdog.
Yes. But also, see, there was more to it. You didn't have just the balloon coming down the streets and then rounding the corner. As soon as the Underdog theme was played, there was a presentation in the square itself, a performance with Simon Bar Sinister trying to get rid of Underdog with a smoke gun.
And the Underdog balloon, it was the first, even though the balloons had dated back to 1928, this year in 1965 with the Underdog balloon, it's my understanding it was the first time they ever had a combination balloon with a float in the Macy's parade.
No, it wasn't a float. Yes, it was. Well, I didn't see the float come down. I just saw it afterwards, parked in the square with the cameras focused onto it and showing Simon Bar Sinister trying to do his thing.
Okay. Now, this item in the newspaper referred to the parade as a gay procession, but they didn't mean homosexual, right?
Of course not. That's a sad example of how some peaceful, worthwhile, comforting words are then twisted around to mean something else. Look at what happened with grass. For centuries, that meant the green covering of soil, and then someone turned it around as a nickname for marijuana.
Yeah. It must be very confusing to foreigners also with these multiple meanings and
yes,
trying to understand the language.
Who is behind these changes? Who decides on them? Who takes the first step? Those people deserve very harsh punishment.
What kind of punishment would you suggest for someone that did something like that?
He should be imprisoned for life.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So let that be a warning to anyone looking to mess with the English language. If Suzanne had her way, you'd be in prison for life. Okay. Well, let's look at some others. So here's another great shot of the Underdog balloon coming out of the warehouse.
Someone sent me a copy of that picture in the mail.
Wow. Now, when you see that picture, when you look at that, does it transport you right back to being a 13-year-old? And do you get, kind of good, warm feeling seeing pictures like that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It really, set you off on your life's work. This is just another story talking about more of the details of the parade and there's Underdog coming down. I'm not sure if that's Broadway. There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. Boy, imagine having been one of those people either operating the balloon or holding the banner. That probably would have been a thrill for you. Yes.
The balloon looks as though it's. Can you get back to me, please?
Yes.
The balloon looks sort of angled, as though it's headed for the ground.
Oh, I'm not sure what happened in that year. I know the balloon did crash in Times Square in 1975. And I believe
I see that. The last year the balloon was used was 1984, and there was a picture in the New York Post of the balloon making a nosedive. Well, the result was there was a Creation Thanksgiving convention the weekend following, and some boobs expected me to reenact, since I was doing Underdog for the costume parade, the balloon nosediving.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. And now, and the Underdog balloon also was featured on the Friends TV show. They had an episode where the balloon somehow escaped the hold of the people operating it and was flying up into the air. Are you familiar with that episode of Friends?
Friends. No, I don't watch it. But also, see, it made me think of there was one year in which Macy's used vintage film to chronicle some of the balloons they had, and at some time they had balloons shaped after very strange, outlandish creatures, and
Oh,
they um, let go of the tethers so that the balloons vanished into thin air.
okay, okay. And Suzanne, we have a question from Taylor Black. Suzanne, we have a new puppy and need to introduce her to our senior cat. Do you have any advice on interspecies socializing? We are huge fans of yours and thank you for your life's work. Any thoughts
Um,
on that?
well, well, introducing a cat to either a dog or another cat when they first meet, they should be um, kept apart, maintain as far a distance as possible, and supervise closer encounters until they become either friends or enemies.
And do you think that would work with any interspecies socializing if you had, say, a monkey and a hamster?
No, no, I don't think so.
Hmm. Okay,
We
so that's specific to.
think of dogs and cats virtually in the same breath, but not other species.
Okay, okay. And Dennis Devine asks, did Suzanne ever attempt to meet Wally Cox or any of the people responsible for the production of Underdog?
Um, no, I didn't because I was only a teenager at the time, and I had no idea where those actors met, interacted, or did their performances.
Okay. Okay. And all right, let me call this back up. We have some other images. So there's a nice shot of Underdog with Smokey the Bear behind him. And how did you feel about Smokey the Bear? Did you like that
Uh,
character?
I'm looking at the picture. That doesn't look like. Oh, wait a minute. I see. There was some kind of shadow. Maybe his hat was tilted down so that it looked almost like um, the head of a dinosaur.
Oh, I see. Well, it appears that Underdog had very little hair. Was he prematurely balding or his hair thinning or?
He was always shown that way as being with scarce hair.
Do we know how old he was in the series?
Um, there was no pilot episode explaining how Underdog came to be. He was
Hmm.
just always there.
Do you have a presumption of his age or an age range on how old?
Well,
Because he was
1964. That would have been his birth.
well, yes, the birth of the series, but on the series he was working as a shoeshine. They called him Shoeshine Boy, so I guess he was on the younger side. Yeah.
Um, I know about the alter ego, but no episode delved into Underdog's past to determine his age. Also, you have to remember if Underdog was shown bald except for just two hairs, when Shoeshine Boy was shown, he always had some kind of cap on his head.
Ah, okay, okay. So maybe he was self-conscious about his thinning hair.
Well, there was no episode made about how Underdog lost his hair, if he did have any to begin with. Because, see, the long ears indicate that he was a species of hound, most likely a basset hound, because I've seen basset hounds up close. Most of the time, the space on the crown of the head between the ears is light colored, and the ears are dark.
Right. Okay. Okay. And let me see what else we have here. We have oh, that's just an ad for the parade with Underdog, and that's Bullwinkle. Kind of, it looks like Bullwinkle's kind of trying to nudge in there and steal a little bit of the spotlight of Underdogs.
I I'm looking at the picture, but I can't see Bullwinkle anywhere.
Yeah, he's in the back. You can see him in his striped. I don't know if that was a swimsuit that he had or.
Well, I did see a Bullwinkle balloon in the 1965 parade, but he came sometime before the Underdog balloon did.
Got it. Okay. Now this was from 1932. This was Jerry the Pig, there were I have a couple of early ones here. This was Eddie Cantor in 1934, and this was Bobo the Hobo in 1945. Any thoughts on some of these earlier balloons?
Well, I hadn't been born yet, so I didn't know any of those characters.
Yeah, and then they did have some superheroes before Underdog. Let's see. Well, here we go. Now, Snoopy, I want to know where you stand on this, Suzanne, because, Underdog, there was one balloon, and Snoopy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different balloons based on Snoopy. Now, why this preoccupation with Snoopy and not more attention to Underdog?
I think because Snoopy was supposed to reflect human values. Now, look, something else I was trying to say. There was one time I watched the balloon that Snoopy was not only a balloon, but also a fixture on a float. Now, that's giving too much attention to the same character, showing him in 2 different media.
Yeah. Yep. And TNL Nick in chat is saying, thank you for the interview. Suzanne is super talented and a beautiful soul. Merry Christmas to you both. And even made a contribution to this chat. So thank you very much for that, TNL Nick.
Can I finish with
yes,
with a Christmas riddle? Because the book in question has its 180th anniversary this year. And in all the Christmas parades I'm in, except one, I'm doing The Ghost of Christmas Past.
Oh, okay. Okay. And now, I'm sorry?
Don't you want me to start the riddle now?
Sure. Yes, please.
Okay. What did the sheep say after reading Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol?
What did the sheep say after reading Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol? Okay, I'm going to take a guess here, just because a sheep would say "bah," bah humbug.
Bah humbug.
Yeah. Wow, I'm usually not great at riddles, but that one came to me. That's a good one, Suzanne.
I made it up.
Wow, very nice. And maybe you could try to do some stand-up comedy at some point.
No, I really don't think so, because I know sometimes when I tried to be amusing, all I got was dirty looks from the people around me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tristan Yance is Yance, is that correct? Yance is asking, Suzanne, do you think Underdog and his ring pill is comparable to Popeye and his spinach?
Well, it's definitely a similar situation of being dependent on a substance for only temporary super strength. Now, Underdog did not consume the pill in his ring in every episode, just a few. But
right.
But Popeye, a story wasn't, not one story was complete without his gulping a can of spinach. But Underdog used the pill in his ring only as a recharger when he was exhausted from strenuous missions. It worked kind of the same way as the popular drink Gatorade. It was only a recharger, not you didn't just gain strength from eating it only to have it wear off in a while.
And do you think that Popeye's spinach dependency was a little extreme? Did he have a problem with that, or?
No, he was never depicted as falling ill or suffering ill fortune because of it. It's just that it presented a bad image for uh, children who were made to think that gulping down one particular food would result in their being automatically superpowered.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, Suzanne, I know the Underdog balloon also appeared in at least one movie. It was in Woody Allen's Broadway Danny Rose. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
There's a scene where they're going through a warehouse with the Macy's balloons, and they actually had the Underdog balloon in there. Have you ever seen? I'm sorry.
What year was that?
I'm not sure what year that came out, but there's a scene where, if I remember correctly, there are guns being fired, and it punctures some of the balloons, and they all start speaking in a high voice, as if they were sucking on a helium.
Speaking, who do you mean by they?
The protagonists in the story. I think the idea was that the helium, it was like sucking a helium balloon, so their voices were getting high.
Okay, because the balloons themselves would not talk. You would just hear a.
Correct. Would that have been likely that if one of those balloons were punctured and you were standing nearby, that it would affect your voice?
Do you remember a movie called The Reluctant Astronaut?
Yes, with Don Knotts.
Because at one point, he's talking in a higher pitched voice than normal, and the controllers think, oh, maybe he inhaled some helium and it's affected his vocal cords.
Yes. Was that your favorite of Don Knotts' movies?
No.
What was your favorite Don Knotts movie?
I didn't see that many, so I didn't develop a favorite.
The Shakiest Gun in the West, or?
Oh no, not that.
The Ghost and Mr. Chicken?
Well, I remember that. That was the first time I ever saw him in a movie.
And you liked that one?
Yeah, it was okay.
Okay. How about the later movies like the Apple Dumpling Gang?
Nah,
that's a no. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what else did I? Oh, I know what I want to talk to you about. The 60th anniversary is coming up of Underdog, and I was looking up 60th anniversaries. It's also going to be the 60th anniversary of the Mustang car, the movie A Hard Day's Night, Nike sneakers, Michael Jackson, his debut as a performer, and something we had covered when you were on our Thanksgiving Beyond Vaudeville episode, Blimpies, sandwiches, is turning 60.
There's also, you didn't mention any other TV shows, did you, just now?
No, only the Beatles movie, A Hard Day's Night.
Well, I'm not thinking of a movie. I'm thinking of another TV show, which premiered just a week before Underdog did, and thus has its 60th anniversary in the upcoming year.
And what would that be?
Gilligan's Island.
Oh, okay. And now, were you a fan of Gilligan's Island?
I didn't go wildly for any of the characters, but I did like it.
If you had to choose a favorite character on the island, who would that have been?
It would have been Ginger Grant, because she was a performing artist.
Okay. Now, I know sometimes they had Mary Ann perform. Sometimes they would do shows on the island. And Mary Ann would do some performances on their little stage, but you don't really consider her a performer first.
No, some of the episodes emphasized her as being raised on a farm.
Hmm. Did you ever give any thought to maybe trying to improve the image of Gilligan? Because he was kind of a buffoon on that series.
Um, no, I've never considered it.
Okay. Okay. Mixed Nuts in the chat is offering they're offering a riddle. Why did the pilgrims always lose their pants? Any idea, Suzanne?
I never heard that before.
The answer is because they wore their belt buckles on their hats and shoes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, that works, right? Yeah. Okay. So, is there any concern with all of these 60th anniversaries that people might focus more on Michael Jackson or on Blimpies versus Underdog next year?
I can't be sure because Phil says that my being on the internet and especially my Underdog related information has made me an icon, just nationwide or worldwide. So many small nations that are far distant from us probably don't have the advantages of television that we had in an earlier age. And any countries that I think of that have television, I don't think they would show old time American series.
Okay. And we have a couple of people in chat asking about the incredible Mr. Limpet.
I know about that.
Yeah. Do you have fond memories of that movie where Don Knotts turns into a fish?
No, I saw it for the first time only a few months ago. And the a human being turning into a fish is absolutely impossible.
So that movie just seemed too implausible.
Yes.
To you, which made it less appealing to you. Yeah. So Joe Muskie is asking, what is Suzanne's favorite show or movie?
Well, I had different favorite shows over time.
It's hard to pick a single favorite. I mean, I imagine Underdog would be. I'm sorry.
I said yes.
Yeah. Okay. How about a movie? Is there one movie that if you really had to like pick a number one movie?
Actually, it would be a couple. They would normally be shown at Christmas and Easter times. I'm talking about movies that are biographies of Jesus.
Okay. Okay. Now, what did you think of Jesus Christ Superstar?
That was I don't know if you'd call it blasphemous. They were trying to update a long historical incident with modern music, and sometimes the language was objectionable too.
And I know there was a lot of controversy over the Monty Python movie, The Life of Brian, also. Are you familiar with that project?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay. How about Godspell?
Well, that too was there. They modernized not only music but also the characters. They had the characters in what was then contemporary dress.
Checker Phil is asking, I wonder if Suzanne dug the Beatles and if she had a favorite.
No, I never went for the Beatles because I was brought up on much higher quality music.
Oh, okay. More classical music.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, the Beatles did record a lot of music. Were there any of their songs that you liked?
No, not really. Also because, see, when I read in the newspapers too often that whenever they gave a concert, you had fans jumping up and down and, acting wildly and irresponsibly, not remaining silent the way you would for a more refined music concert.
Have you ever gone to a rock concert, like a rock and roll band?
No.
Okay. No interest in that. Suzanne, Scott Allen is asking in chat, what are the awards on the wall? I guess we can see to your left some 4 plaques there.
Well, they were given me by Ocean City for having performed there certain numbers of years, or a couple are devoted to one of my characters, Shelley, the South Jersey Shore mermaid.
Okay. And World's Worst Boy is asking, did Suzanne enjoy Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Mixed Nuts, thank you for your gift to this podcast, is saying, thank you both for being here today. You each have provided hours of fun and entertainment. Wow. What do you think of that, Suzanne? I mean, we started this way back in 1986, and here we are in 2023, and people are enjoying the work that you did, and it's had nice things to say about my work as well. It must make you feel...
For years, it'll be Beyond Vaudeville's 40th anniversary.
Oh, that's right. We might have to do a show together.
Well, if we do a show like you're talking about in the TV studios, and if we put up any symbols, we should have red crepe paper streamers or red glittering discs or whatever. They would have to be red because the symbol of a 40th anniversary or birthday is rubies.
Ah, okay. So you have all of these in your head. You know what these, like for the 75th anniversary, for example, what would that be?
Oh, that's diamonds too. It was originated so that every quarter century there was a special symbol. For 25 you had silver, for 50 you had gold, and then for 75 you had diamonds. But most married couples didn't live long enough to see their 75th anniversary. That's probably why they dropped it to 60. Also, both Queen Victoria and Elizabeth II celebrated their diamond jubilees in the 60th year of their reigns.
This Suzanne, it seems like a flawed system, though, that you would have a diamond for 2 different occasions. Aren't there enough minerals and gems to just do something else?
I'm sure there are, but some people just chose to propagate diamonds more frequently.
Okay. Maybe it was good for business, I guess. Yeah. Stephen Korn, our longtime director, says, does Suzanne have any opinion on Taylor Swift?
I don't think I know that much about him, or maybe not at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She has some contemporary hits, but you don't listen much to contemporary music, or?
No.
Okay. So this probably wouldn't work either. Sarah Rusi is saying that Suzanne should come to an Insane Clown Posse show. Are you familiar with Insane Clown Posse?
Insane Clown?
Yeah. They're musicians. Insane Clown Posse.
I'm sorry, I've never heard of them. Do they wear clown makeup on their faces?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. they're irresponsible clowns. It reminds me of a program that I saw once on a serial killer on the cable TV channel Reels. I don't remember his name, but he was a highly respected citizen in his town. He would entertain children by appearing as a clown named Pogo, but in real life he was a serial killer and buried the corpses right underneath his house, so that inevitably the stench of decomposing flesh penetrated his entire house, and the authorities blew the lid off that scandal.
Chris Webster is pointing out that is John Wayne Gacy, I guess. And
yes, I remember that name.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, that's terrifying. And Murray Monastero is saying Suzanne was my favorite performer on Beyond Vaudeville. Thank you for my autographed photo. I love it. Oh, that's great, Murray. Yes, from our Etsy site, we do have photos, and I'm glad you got that and are enjoying that. So Adam Overton is asking, what modern music does Suzanne like?
Well, are you talking about numbers that originated only recently, or some that maybe date back a while?
Well, he didn't specify, but let's just say contemporary popular music. Let's just say from, anytime from the 70s to now. Or are there any artists that you've enjoyed?
I know of one that I liked because they orchestrated their music and their voices to sound more symphonic, classic.
And who would that be?
Fifth Dimension.
Oh, okay. So you like the Fifth Dimension?
Yes.
Now, they did the song Spinning Wheel? Was that theirs?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Is there a particular song of theirs that you like?
Well, there were a couple. There was, I had this whole record of their songs. It was called Earthbound.
Okay. And, okay. And, we're hearing again from Anna Pants 18. I have to leave early, but I just want to say thank you both for the fun stream. Suzanne, you are always an inspiration to me. Happy holidays. Very nice. Checker Phil is asking about Funky Town, that you like the song Funky Town?
Yes, I enjoyed that. Well, that wasn't done by Fifth Dimension. It was by another group. But that was one of the best songs that I used for figure jogging. Yes.
In fact, we used that song when I had the pleasure of producing you on Jimmy Kimmel Live, right?
Yes, that was the song that was the number that I used.
Yeah. Now I know you've made some efforts to go back on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Any updates on that?
Well, because he requested when I was on his show that I dress as Underdog, I tried to get in touch with him again to have me appear as Underdog again in conjunction with one of the milestone anniversaries.
Got it. Okay. But no progress on that.
Oh.
Well, maybe next year for the big anniversary.
I can't be sure of that, because some people say that his format is altogether different than what it was in my time.
Got it. Okay. Now, Toto Payne Diaz is wondering if Liberace inspired you with your costumes.
No, he really didn't, because I rarely ever watched him perform.
Okay. Okay. Well, Suzanne, this has really been very generous of you with your time to share this with us, and especially in the Thanksgiving holidays that you found time to do this. And I was wondering, and if this is putting you on the spot, please don't feel like you need to, but just with the holidays coming up and the Christmas holidays coming up, We've heard numerous times about how impressed people are with your singing voice. And people were surprised on Oddville when you sang at Checker Phil's wedding, "We've Only Just Begun." And I was wondering if I'm sorry?
But my performance was spoiled by one of the wedding guests, a man, inflating a balloon over his head and deliberately exploding it while I was performing. So I gave him his just desserts. As soon as we broke for a commercial, I went over to him and slapped him as hard as I.
How did he respond to that?
Well, he didn't say anything. He just sat there.
Okay. Now, did you ever slap anyone at the Howard Stern program when they were acting up, or?
I couldn't, because either they were seated too far away, or actually slapping someone on the air might have resulted in a lawsuit later on.
Okay. Oh, because there would be evidence of it, and yeah.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Toto Payne Diaz, thank you for your super sticker and for watching and helping us do these podcasts. We really appreciate it. So, Suzanne, what I was getting at was, is there any way you could bless us with a Christmas tune?
Well, it really wouldn't be mine. It would be a standard finale song centering on both Christmas and New Year's.
And what would that song be?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, okay. So would you actually grace us with that a cappella?
I can do it, but I prefer to do it in Latin. It's my own translation.
Okay. So here we go. This is going to be "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" by Suzanne Muldowney in the traditional Latin.
Magna cum felicitate Diei natalis Christi, delix natalis atque bonus annus novus, magnum gaudium semper vobiscum, gaudium Diei Christi et anni novi, magna cum felicitate Diei natalis Christi, delix natalis atque bonus annus novus.
Wow. Very nice, Suzanne. And I'm sure people are clapping. Everyone who's watching is clapping at home. That was really wonderful. Mixed Nuts says it was beautiful. And Amy Fushauer Kelly says, "This is why we love you, Suzanne." So thank you, Suzanne, so much for doing this. And thank you to Boris again for helping set this up. And thank you, everybody who came to the chat. We're going to be doing another one tomorrow with a tribute to Buddy Clayton. Suzanne, I'm not sure if you ever met Buddy.
No, I never heard of him. I just heard that he died recently.
Yeah, he had passed away, and we're doing a tribute to him with his daughter. So please check that out with us tomorrow. And Suzanne, thank you again so much, and happy holidays. And until we meet again, hopefully we'll be doing that reunion live show soon.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thanks, Suzanne. Bye, everybody.